Good morning, good morning, good morning. Coming to you live. 0700 hours, 48 minutes. Thursday, December 13, 2018. 2018, what I learned about me. I learned, excuse me, that in life, I was 35 in 2018. I turned 36 on November 15th. So I haven't been 36 long, but within the 35 years, 36 years of my life, I know I became stronger. I became a better person. Always say I got wiser, got stronger. I'm following my path. I'm following my journey. So now me writing that in 2008 or 2007 of saying this is my path, this is my journey, it's my choice. So choose wisely. It's working now. I'm making the choices I desire and wanted to make before, but then move on those choices. Even such as I went to business seminars. It keeps saying starting a business, but every person is different. What one do, the other one won't be. If a person move at a super speed and they can take a rest, maybe you're different. Maybe you move at your pace, moving at other people's pace. You cannot become who you are. So each year, what happened to me, especially this year, I finally put that, as I said before, my 100% may look like a 75. I'm okay. And if a person can't see my 75 is good, because imagine if a person give 100%. Just imagine this, and then it's 365 days. They give it only 100%, 65 days. Now there's 300 days left out the year. So now imagine they only giving you 50 or 40%. Now just to peep this game, because this is gonna be the funny part. Let's imagine 365, which I do, and I learned this. I do this. I'm giving you my 100%, 360. Let's say just 300 days. It's 65 days. I'm not giving 100%. I'm gonna give you that because I know for me, I do more than less. I mean, I do like double. So and if I'm winning, I got 100 wins and I have 40 losses or 50 losses. Always have double. I never have my wins is always double over my losses. What we would call a loss or a failure, whatever you want to call it. So if my average, and most people, that's to me would be, but I have to make it, and I'm not going to do the math to it, 75%. So let's say I have enough wins, enough losses to say my average win percentage is 75%. So imagine me giving it at 300 times out the year. Because you say I'm 100, it's not 100. So just imagine me giving my 75 to you. All you see is 75. My shooting percentage, my work percentage, like if I'm at a job, my percentage of my commitments I have to make. You don't see 100, even though I made all my commitments. But during my commitments, you only seen a 75% because you expect 100 to be 100, or it has to only look as 100 to you. If it don't look like 100, it's not 100. So that's why when you're in school, when you get graded and your rates and your marks are different from everyone, because the person that's viewing it, usually they have two or three people. That's why there's a teacher and then there's an assistant. And then most classes there's a professor. But if you're doing college courses or institution, your grades and mark is pretty much everybody's going to get graded down the line the same way because they start from a certain percentage. They start at 100, but they know, well, for doing your homework, they already gave you 30. Everybody for doing their homework got 5%. You just did it. You don't even, or you get 2%. You get 2 points. You get 5 points. Just handing in that paper, that teacher is knowing is going to give you 5 points. Don't matter what you do. So we're going to base it off from 0 to 100. You get 5 points. Now you get 30 points for actually doing the actual assignment. So when they look at the paper, they're grading you on the same marks. And this is what I learned about people. This is why I'm saying this. You got 35 now. So now you keep averaging it off and you complete and all the tasks that was supposed to be completed for this assignment to be turned in. By the end of that assignment, it's up to you to create that 100, or in most cases, now that they start at 100. It's up to you to keep the 100. That means you completed this 5, this 30, this 40, this 15, because it has some. I had assignments when I did online classes. That's what I thought was amazing. That's where I get the analogy from when I did online classes at Everest, and we started at 100, and it showed us every time we lost a point or some type of points. It showed us why. In this society, what I learned this year, we all don't start at 100. We don't. So what I had to do is understand, if you're going to grade me a 75, I'm okay because that's my 100. And out of the 300 years, wow, the 300 days, you only gave 165. I kind of almost tripled your 100 because I'm giving 75 for 300. But it's really 100. But I'm just going by that person mark because they're not starting me at 100. They gave me a 75. They gave me a lower grade, or so everybody marked. They're going to look at. They're marking everybody off different. So imagine that person talking to you. And this what I learned as well this year. We got to take people words as a, that's why I say I'm not here to tell you what to do. I cannot change people's mind. I learned that even if it's truth, because we fell into the curse of loving lies, and then people see it for what it is. Those people become so hurt, and I learned this year I don't have to accept that hurt either. So as people, we call it snake you, hated on you. I don't hate them. And I learned this. I don't have to see people that hate me. People like, who don't like you? I always ask people that question. I ask you that question. Who don't like you? Who don't care for you? And if you respond, and this is for me, my next question is, if you tell me, start naming name, I was like, how do you know that? How? Then you start telling me the things they're doing. Then after a while, I say, how do you harbor your feelings towards them? Like you don't, but you have no reason. Now listen to this. And this is the funny part about when somebody dislike you, or as we call it hating, a hater, quote unquote hater. You have no reason not to hate them. So why are you responding? Think about this. This is a challenge. Why are you responding the way they're responding to you? If you helping people and you a helper, it's not calling being boo boo the fool or fool or dummy. Quote how we say now we got all these analogies and cliches and metaphors and phrases. You're not being boo boo the fool. You doing what's in you. Think about this. If you make a commitment, your commitment is not based on what that other person, what that person is made of. Your commitment is made of. That's why I had the arrow pointing down on my picture, even though it's dark. It's I'm pointing down on me. I made that commitment. I made the commitment to be better. I made the commitment to help. Whether they come back and does the same, that's not for me. I cannot worry. I cannot put my mind into what people's going to do to me. Only I can do what I know how to do. People say that's foolish. I can make the choice. Well, I notice now my energies is being towards you, and after a while, you know why I don't go near the person? Because the energy become very, very toxic. It's a toxic energy. And this is what I learned too. We don't talk about mental illness. Accountability should be in the mental illness class. Know why? Because I learned a lot of people don't hold their actions accountable. But when people react, they have a problem. Think about it. You don't hold your actions. So your responsibility is a response. You don't hold yours accountable. So what people do is we had to find fault and blame. I learned this years as well. Now this is not a diss because I'm gonna say a lot of things about men as well. I'm gonna make I do both. If you notice, you can go through all my channel, go to my channel and see my videos. They're based on men and women. I talk about the men not being there, a man not accepting his responsibility, and then the women that, and I always say this to women. Women keep saying, "Why I gotta be stronger, this and that." Okay, don't. It's not about being stronger, because you gotta remember, majority of men that you're going to meet, what you're going to ask, we want to have a. Okay, put it this way: if you meet a woman, she says, "I'm about my money." Now, as a man, now I'm talking from a man point of view perspective. I'm not looking for a committed relationship for her. I'm talking to women. I'm talking to you, women, because this is how I talk to women. But I'm gonna say as a man looking at the woman. Now, usually I say the woman looking at the man, but I'm not a woman, so I don't know the makeup of a woman's psyche. I learned this year, a woman's psyche is totally different. I can ask a woman. I say, "Can you explain this?" I do. I say, "Explain it 3 different ways." And I learned a woman only can explain it one way. In that one way, I have to figure out how I am going to understand the way she explained it. Because then I'm confused. I have done this a lot. Even women I follow, or women I listen to their wiseness, or women that I physically see and listen to their filings and I hear I'm standing next to them, or online on social media, I ask for explanation. And if she explained it the same way she said it, I say thank you. And I learned I have to let that go because that's the only way she know how to explain it. And it's not, and now that's what I want everyone to understand. It's not a diss that a man say, "I accept your understanding," and I have to figure out from there then. And then that's what I'm learning. I have to just figure it out. But and if she decide, if we are making a commitment, she decide to not, she don't want the commitment no more. I have to be real okay with that because I don't understand her. So I'm not mad at the women, the well, 2 women I have dated this year. Well, actually 3, but one I actually had a togetherness. She came to my house. I was gonna go to hers. It was soon, but we didn't make it that far. But I have to understand that's her. I'm not mad at her because I can't. And I told her this. She said, "Stop saying that." I said, "No, I can't stop saying." I was like, "This is the time. I'm going to use the word can't. I can't stop. What you need from me," I told her, "I don't have it because you're looking for me to not be me." Let's say that again, women. A man cannot look for you to not to be you. But remember, there is a too much. This is a challenge to your mind. Think about what is too much. What is doing too much? You out in public, and I seen this, and it was from an adult woman. I mean, an older woman. She was fussing. I was like, wow, such as that. I can't deal with that. I've been through that. That was another woman of, well, she was actually last year coming into this year. This year only count because we was more on the getting away from each other stage, and we wasn't breaking. We was done, but we was getting away from each other. And what she did, she would create arguments. And I learned I've been through this, but I learned it even more. I'm not an arguer. I don't know why. We can have we can have a dialogue about a topic or subject. I won't holler at you, I won't scream at you. My voice might get a little louder, as you notice when I do some of my lives, or even now, I get louder, it go lower. But I'm not hollering at her. I'm not arguing with her. I'm not debating her. But what I seen was I can't fit into her what she want and need me to be. It's nothing with me not being a man because I like, and I want women to understand. A man is not saying can you cook just to say can you cook because that's part of making it home. He know how to cook. I know how to cook. So if I actually do, you know how to. So then if you even ask a question, do you know how to keep a home? And that's something as a wife. Now you're gonna be a wife one day. You gotta be able to. I'm sorry, you gotta be able to keep a home. And if you're gonna be a husband one day, you have to show her things that you're gonna be around. You're gonna make her feel as she want to be around. I'm not talking out. I'm not talking about. And this is the confusion of people. I noticed this. how people make money differently. But if we eating, we got food on the table, we got somewhere to live, we actually got money saved, we got stock, we got different things that most people don't have. I don't know for me, I don't know a lot of women that have stock besides a house. Or they might have money creating opportunity, but I don't know any women that really much have who I don't know women that have life insurance. I met the minimum. I only met two women out of all the women I ever that had life insurance. So I brought it up, like, you got life insurance? They say no. I'm like, okay, and I don't harp on it because it was just a question. So I don't know too many got life insurance. That's important because then all these women that's talking about they won't be with a man that don't have a house or a car, but you got a house and a car, you don't have life insurance. Like see, and then I know that they won't connect those. They won't align those two. I say, think about it. You don't have life insurance. You want to be a mother. You don't have life insurance. You're gonna have a child. It's what happens when you are unable to do certain things anymore. So secure. So what is secure in a bag? So I start asking that. I don't know what secure in a bag is. I'm waiting on responses. Haven't got one yet. I haven't even got like. I'm waiting even just for a woman explanation. Because maybe that is life insurance. Maybe that is putting lots of money away. That don't mean your money's in the bank. Do you have a safe at home where you put money in, where your valuables? Do you have things? Do you have opportunities where money creates from what you invested in? Because most things you have is a liability. So a person, if you with them and they're not bringing like people like and what I learned bringing to the table do not really mean bringing anything to the table. Because I had a woman, I went on a dating site. She said she wouldn't date because she worked hard to where she at. I was like, cool. Well, but what she was looking at me was the things I have and what I didn't have and I was doing. She took I don't have a driver's license. I know how to drive, but I'm not so quick to do that. That's not and I got other things that I don't tell them things. I don't tell a lot of people a lot of things about me. Like they say, I'm sitting there. I'm a whole week. It's like you ain't working. I was like, well, I'm not even gonna tell them things. I was like, no. Oh, so you one of those dudes that don't work? And I don't say nothing. I just look at her. And I'm sitting here. Okay, you, you keep us ass. And I did that to a woman before. She said, "You ass." That's why the word ass instead of assume ass. The ass is the back part of your body where nobody can see, and you sitting down on it is always in the dark. That's where I'm at. You're asking me questions about that's all the way in the back that nobody can see is in the dark. It's in the dark because I now this is the good dark. This is the dark where I'm not giving you my information. It's things on here you would people will watch all these videos think they know me. I was like, no, I didn't reveal a lot of things because I know how people really are. So you got to take that into account. I learned that you got to know how people when a person says what they said. If he says money, a person says this. I ain't gonna use men and women in this case. Money over bitches. Money over niggas. First, I don't use bitches. I don't use niggas. So if you don't use those, that's not referring to you. That's another thing I learned. They're referring to you, but not referring to you. But then I learned also they're referring to you. So you got to understand, you got to learn. What I learned this is learn the difference and learn how to. Now, this is the word. And this is the word. You probably notice with certain words I say, it's the word different, but it's called differentiate. I don't know why the F's going together with the D. To start with the D to the I to F, it don't in the ER E and the T, all those the D, F and the N and the T have a what's the name? But I can say definite. So that's funny about that. And I think because the last part of eight, when you say the different eight, differentiate. If I say it like that, I can say it. So you would notice that about me. Some words, and people have said that. I thought it was funny because I was like, It took y'all such as how long for you to figure that out or notice that? And what I don't do, and I learned this, don't don't tell people what's wrong with you. I just did that, but you already noticed that. But and I had a friend, I had to tell him. He's 12 years older than me. I said, stop telling me what's wrong with you, or 11 years older than me. Well, he's 12. Might say 12 years. Stop telling me what's wrong with you. I know what's wrong with you already. You didn't even have to tell me what's wrong with you. But when you harp on what's wrong, I learned this as well. You draw people away from you. And I had a bad habit of that. Whew. And it's not, I don't even want to take that because I actually learned from that. Each person I learned, because I learned people don't know how to explain what you're doing wrong. They can tell you. So what I did is what I started doing. I said, well, what I'm doing wrong, say something. Like, see you doing it again. I was like, what I'm doing. And then the funny part, she couldn't explain it. But I'm still figuring out what I'm doing wrong. But then a lady had said this to me. She's like, women would not want to come around you. She said, and this is the crazy part, because she said you're a man. So she's like, women, we can talk about our complaints, problems, hurts all day to anybody. We not looked at different from that. But when a man do it, a woman will look at you different. She said you can be in front of her face, and I had to take it as it is, getting hurt literally. She can literally watch you mind your business, sit at your cubicle, because she's like you sat next to the woman that seen that. She seen it. She was talking to you about it. She was telling you, how could you sit there? The woman I was telling her about, the woman literally said, she was like, wow. She was like, wow, you were really sitting there. You're not saying nothing. I was like, you don't want to hear it. You told me I'm just as everybody else. That's when I could have said, why are you talking to me? You just told me you've seen this before. You don't want this. And I learned I have to tell women, you cannot tell a man you don't want him, and or treat him a certain way or talk to him a certain way that's not becoming of you being kind or caring and loving to him. He don't want to be around you. I know I don't. Every woman, and people's like, well, she turned you down, so you hurt, your feelings hurt. No, it's beyond the feeling. If a woman literally said, you're not for me, I look around and be as I'm not for you. That holds a lot of weight because nobody thinks about that. You being hurt and attacked, men get hurt and attacked. I had a woman laugh at me, said, I'm a prize. She's like, I'm special. I was like, I know you're very special. You're a prize. And I had a actual disagreement with a woman. We agreed that the young lady was special. I said, what if we had a son? She's like, he's special too, but I gotta make sure my daughter thinks she's special. So I was like, what is your son? And she would not give that to her son. And I said, that's gonna hurt. That would hurt our son. And I'm unsure, but you're telling my son. I was like, think about this. You telling me I'm unsure of myself, but you giving all. It's not. You giving all the beauty, the wonderfulness, the marvelous, the excitement, the joy to the daughter. You're keeping your son glad, happy, but he don't have that same enjoyment of life as she would. You know why? Because if you're telling she's special, and eventually it manifests physically, she's going to receive things. An example, which I had to learn too. I'm an adult now. My sister's birthday, and okay, I made an excuse for people. It's in April. Mine's in November, close to Christmas, way after taxes. April's is right at taxes, Christmas being paid off, and you can do things. My sister would get $300 every year. Not 1 year on my whole birthday. It's funny. I laugh at it now. And I mention this to my family. I laugh. I'm like, we all laugh about it because it's not hurtful to me. And they see it's not. I grew up. I had to grow out of that. That's one thing I learned too. I had to grow out of things as a man and an adult. My best Christmas or even my Christmas or my best holiday, and people think that's why I don't like holidays. No, even with that, because it's holidays when we didn't get nothing. So it's holidays that we didn't even. Thanksgiving, If it went, it was 3 holidays I can remember. I remember crying in the window for one of them. Think I was 10. We wouldn't have had no Thanksgiving food. It wasn't even about the food. You know, when you cook, people come around. And my mother invited people. She couldn't invite people this year. You know, people you rarely see that don't come around, but you give some food, they'll come around. And just ask them to bring a little something. Someone just say, I just give you $5 because I didn't know what to get because your food good. Our mother will accept it and we had just have fun. And of course, that $5 meant nothing because throughout the year, my mother gave and giving back and all that good stuff. So she gave back. So that little money they gave, it wasn't nothing. But I learned my sister year has always been enjoyable for what she received. And it's funny that people would meet me, and I told you, if you needed $60, legitly $60, like your check was short, and you had to pay your rent, and you was going to be home, or you had to pay some bill that was like a heat bill or a light bill, and I had $10, and I had to pay a bill, but I was getting paid next week to pay that bill, I will give you that $10. See, that sounds funny to people. It was like, maybe such like, why would you want to give money to people that would never give you money? Because that we're gonna go back from where I learned from the beginning when I started the live, or what I always say, I'm giving because this is me. I'm assisting because it's me. It has nothing to do with what you're doing. And I learned I could not focus on that because people say I only do what somebody do for me. I can't listen to you because that's not me. I don't need, and I have to tell people everything you do good. Now this is the hardest reality check, and I want people to understand this. If you do good, what you're gonna have good come to you, but it's not by the good. It's not by what you think. You gotta understand this. So if you help people move, and it's time for you to move, this is the hardest thing for you to understand. People are not gonna help you move. This is one example. They're not going to help you move. They'll help you do other things. They help you do, put it this way. If I started a business, which one would you, put it this way, this is a challenge to your mind. Which would you rather have? Because I know people that move too much and I'm not helping you. And they know that. I help you move 2 times. I knew a lady, she moved 2 times in the year. And by December, she was trying to move again. I told her no. I was like, this is crazy. And then if you seen what we was moving, I was like, your things you have it's not like this couch. I can take the pillow off. I can remove it or disassemble. It's like this stuff is heavy. I had to find people to move it with me, or you have to find people as well. Then you gotta link up today. Nobody thinking about the move. No, nobody don't. If I don't work out on a regular basis. So moving your heavy objects is kind of a work to me. I'm not saying I'm lazy or it's too heavy, but that's a work, and you do it a lot. And then when you move, you need help unpacking. Sometimes you need help packing. Come on, that's when I learned you got to draw the line. That's a good no, because that helped the people understand. Like no, so now you have to say this. You challenge yourself to this about what you're going to do. You have to understand. I had lost it. I'm gonna get it back. So I had to learn. I had to say no. I had to draw the line at no. And the way some people are, you have to be okay. And if that person no longer want to be around you, cool. And a lot of things I learned too is learned and taught behaviors are horrible. I learned all the history I'm learning. Nobody ever told me this. I'm learning how a zoo started. How if you and I'm learning even some history is wrong. As an African descendant, man, a descendant from African people, bloodline, and tribe, we wasn't slaving each other. And I hate hearing certain history, and people like to gripe on that. But then let's do the reverse. Let's do a comparison. Let's see where it came from. Then you will understand why I hate certain things. And I learned this, and the people don't disagree. Hate is okay. I hate certain things. You know why? Because this thing I would not put myself in. I hate when a person saying you're a snitch. I love being a snitch. You know why I love being a snitch? Because from day one, when you meet me, there's never a time where I have not been upfront with you or I didn't help you. But then you will put me in a dangerous situation. Dangerous as in you're messing up my life without me knowing. And sometimes, and I learned this, we're going to be put in situations we think and I learned this, you can't cover all your bases all the damn time. So if you telling me you got drugs and a gun in your car, I know you do that. But today you decide to say, F it. OJ, you not even gonna tell me. You not letting me know. It's cool because you did it before and I didn't know. Because we gotta remember, I'm trusting you as you done your thing. You've been arrested. You've been all of this. I never was involved. Even if I seen you get arrested, I never was involved. You didn't involve me. They didn't involve me because I wasn't part of it. But now this situation happened this time. They see me. They see me with you. And I'm doing something I can't help myself because now you just involved me. That's wrong. I hate that. I hate people like as that. I hate a lot of things. I'm not gonna stop hate. I don't want you to not challenge yourself. And I hate when people try to be direct and tell you this is how it's supposed to go. And that's what I learned. You got to stay away too from those people as that. People telling you this is how it is. Our ancestors made a, that's one error they made. It's not one way. I even learned about the Greek, how they got many gods. So many gods when the relationship, and I keep seeing this too, this is weird, polyamorous, meaning having more than one partner at the same time, whether it's through marriage or just a relationship or and you're living a life. It was eventually, it wasn't about sex. It was sex included, but it wasn't. And that's all I see people showing that, would you be polyamorous? But the examples they showing me is very sexual. It's like, yes, I can come home. I'm always pleased from the top to the bottom sexually. It's never about, well, I came home. This income and my income made it so much easier for us to eat, for us to save money. That's what, if I'm going to be polyamorous and having 2, 3 women and I'm the man, because I'm not having other man share my woman. I don't even want to do that. I'm just giving an example. 3 other women in my household, or me and 2 other women, me and 3 other women. It's not about the sex. The visual is there. I get to look at 3 different sets of breast and booty, different times. Maybe sometimes if at the same time, it depends. But they all live in a house. I'm seeing the same thing. So nobody's ashamed. Nobody's fighting. But that's a hard work because I learned a lot of women and women, and I learned this year, women should not speak on men and men stop speaking on women because this is why. Men fight men. We can be cool and some don't. More so at times, men can be cool after we fight because now we know who's stronger, we know who's tougher. So now we know how to move. Like, okay, I'm not bringing him to the big boy house. He's staying over here. We're gonna play games. I'm not taking this man out to drink. I don't know what he about, and things happen sometimes. I don't know what and we still don't know. You might and you might not. But then I learned women don't get along. So women don't get along, and women try to tell women other things. Peep this again. Women don't get along, and women try to tell women other things. And it's rare to find women that truly get along. It's not rare to find, you have men, because when men get along, we're called gay. We're called gay in all parts of society. Well, in this society, we're the only society, because I went overseas, men hold hands. They kiss on the cheek or the forehead. It wasn't gay. It wasn't nothing gay because these men never did nothing with another man. It was another sex. It wasn't about sexual because they went back home and they had wives. And their wives said, he's strong. He take care of me. He's loving. He's doing. But in this society, I don't want to hold your hand. But man, I can't walk side to side by my buddy. We can't bump arms no more. And then I learned too, in my 36 years, stop caring what other people care. I'm bumping arms with my buddy. If I tell like, well, all right, man, I'll holler at you later. Love you, man. See you later. A lot of men be like, I was like, huh? You don't love your buddy? Like, yeah. And then and what I love about being a man, because I seen it different with women, we can talk. As soon as I said that, it's like, oh, I was like, so you don't love your homie, your buddy? Y'all grew up together. I hope you love him. I truly do. Maybe y'all wouldn't, and we'd be laughing after a while. Because I hope you would keep him out of trouble, man. I love him. I had no other reason. And it's not like it's not such as anything gay about it or weak or make you demasculate or emasculate, whatever you want to call it nowadays. And I don't use a lot of words. And I may sound like all these groups. There's all these different groups out. Instead of just saying equality, they added feminism. Instead of just saying, I'm going to be a single man, we added MTTOWIBMOR. I know the abbreviation, I don't follow it. But a lot of the brothers will see me and talk to me or hear me. And like, man, you might as well know that. I thought about that. But what makes a woman different is who she is. It has nothing to do where she's from, where she come from, and what she accomplished. And I learned what you accomplished mean nothing to people because I never met you. And I learned don't forget where you came from. A lot of people I listened to the one lady, she go by Jazz the rapper, and I watched her Instagrams. She tell a lot of people I don't know you. Who are you? And I thought about this. And I wrote her. Remember when that person, you happy this person finally follow you and like, yo, Jazz the rapper hot. Remember that person you was looking up to? They didn't know the hell you were, but they called out your name. Or I wouldn't say, who are you? I'd have said, cool, but I don't know who you are. Like, say it in a way, like, I don't know who you are. Basically saying is like walking up, not saying it. It's a difference. Now, this is really a difference I learned. Etiquette, how you approach people and how you do some things you can say different. I said some things you can say different and it can mean different way. You're like, who the hell are you, dude? Why should I talk to you, basically? And then this way is like, who are you? I don't know you. So it's a reason if I don't know who you are. Now, if somebody said that to me, cool, I'll respect that. It's less hurtful because that's the truth. If a person can give you the truth without trying to demean you, like I'm talking to you and I think you're beautiful, and you turn around and scream loud as hell around other people, why the hell are you talking to me? I didn't know. I'm honored and think it's a privilege, but no more. I think it's an honor and privilege to talk to you because you just show like, damn, like I came to talk to you. What did I? And that happened to me. I was like, I never even met you before. I don't know you. So if it's that bad, that I was like, I don't know what men hurt you. And she kind of apologized in some silly way. I accepted it because it was her apology. But I wasn't hurt. It was just like, damn, like in front, I don't know you. I don't know what you did. I don't know. And that's another thing I learned. Women gonna go through things that we have no understanding, and we just have to accept it. Just like I accepted their thing. So this is a lot of things I said, what I learned about me, what I learned about life. Next year I'm gonna learn some more things. Learn more about my history. Learn more about myself. I learned more about everything I wanted to accomplish, some accolades, some things I have to do to accomplish. I learned so much. I learned some new words, I learned some language. I learned some new meanings, some understanding. I gained more knowledge. I got wiser. No longer, and I know I'm free. If anything, if you don't know anything else in life, be free. Know who you are. Well, and I already said it. So you be your best. When I say unto one, I say unto all. So you got to focus, a purpose, mission, and position. It's your path, it's your journey. Your foundation is what you create. Now, how you form it and build it is up to you. Keep yourself daily working on you, whether it's through words or if you write it on paper too. Write that you love you on paper. Say it to yourself in them because you don't have a reflection, or just say it out loud if you don't want to look in the mirror. That's hard. Wait till you first try that. I don't know if you ever tried that. Look in the mirror and say, I love me. So it's so much that I learned. And I don't want to go back in time. I want to go forward. I want to be in the now, in the present. I found love in myself, but my love for myself got stronger. My love for people got stronger because I was supposed to start community and unity. I'm happy I didn't start. What I do is always still do what I do. I go out and still talk to people. I survey people. I hope people don't take things when I use it. I'm not using it to mean them. I'm using it as a form of I'm an example. I am willing not to sacrifice, but I am willing to suffer for the next generation, the children. I don't have children. To know we made some errors, but and just like I showed yesterday, that was that. If you seen me in that video, that was heightened through watching. It's called Attack on Titan, season 3. I want to say episode 6, 7, 8, or 9. What is it? It's not called Trust. It's after. It's 2 episodes after the sin. So it's sin, a episode, but it's season 3, episode 6, or between episode 5 and 8. And that the young man was on top of the wall. He looked down at the children, and he said, he told to the other young men when they was children, remember that was us when we was children. It's like 3, 4, 5, 6 years later, and we was looking up, and we first seen the first evil that came to us. The people was protecting us. Guess what? Not being funny, they fought for us. I called the 3 kings: Martin Luther King, Brother Malcolm X, and Gandhi. I call them 3 kings. They were doing the work, but they wasn't prepared. My mother and father weren't prepared. They wasn't prepared. And this is why I tell them I give props to the old school, the new school, the past long ago, and what's going to come to happen. Because you know why I'm going to suffer. The people that was protecting me was not prepared. No offense. But when you tell them, they find offense. I say, how was I prepared? I say, what information did you give me that I have not researched and found out and figured out on my own? I say, for example, you as a father, and this is to the men. This baffles me. That child is fatherless if you don't put this in this way. If you and your child do not live in the same home, that child is done. Think about it. That child is not receiving all of the information, the love, understanding, and wiseness on what they should have. Don't care what nobody say. And as a man, that's how I look at relationships. If you made a child, and an older man said, there's a wise older man. He said, if a man and a woman make a child, forget the marriage. I'm not worried about he ain't say that, but we're not talking about marriage. We're talking about raising this child. You cannot raise a child in a 2-parent household in that child. And people say, well, yes, you can. I was like, no. Because that's an excuse. You're justifying a problem that you made wrong and you tried to correct it. That's why I don't have children. I will not be the woman, and I'm not living in that house. Because what you're going to do, because then if she get with another guy, you get another woman. When that daughter go over at this house, when that son go over this house, they're learning 2 different things. Because I'm quite sure the parents and people keep, and I know this for a fact. I don't care what success your child. Well, my daughter became a doctor. Great job with that. My son not okay, great job, but not being funny. It's actions your son and daughters are doing that you never seen and that you did see, but by them being in a separate house. And then in the same house, make sure y'all are together. People's like, you're not a husband, you're not a father. But I'm not a fool. I'm not a dummy. I'm not stupid. I'm not an idiot. So don't tell me just because I'm not. And that's the worst thing that I noticed I learned. I may not have something or I'm not doing it, but why would I shut down? Hold on. Like, just peep this game. Why would I shut down good knowledge and information? That's what I don't know. Ask yourself that. Somebody say, you don't have to listen to me, But you got all this money doing this and that. You don't have to even act on it. Think just even if you give yourself like, all right, let me think about what this young man or young lady, like even you listen to young people. Listen, I listen to a lot of young people. Listen to what they really said. Now, take the time out to dissect their words, to pull it apart. Like, okay, because you got to put it where it's supposed to go. So if you were two parents, you living in two houses with two separate husbands, you remarried and doing all this, that's not helpful. I don't care how much success you think your child had became at some or in that child life, that child, that's more of a struggle to get the child to understand. And then it become the normal. So the one normal I see, should I'm not celebrating baby showers and teen pregnancies no more. I had to tell myself that. I had to stick by it. He's like, oh, you're not gonna no, I'm not celebrating that. I'm not celebrating disorders anymore. Distress, hatred. I'm no longer celebrating. I will mind my business. If I see someone being wronged and they got the punishment, I'm not celebrating it. But in my inside, cool. It's almost if I just did wrong to someone, because I had ask yourself this too. How many people have you wronged in your life? How many? I had the man said he's never seen his uncle hurt him. He never hurt me. And I said, pause. And he said it didn't matter. I said, wow. You say people don't like your uncle. They're not admiring of your uncle. They're not desiring. They're not interested. They're not intrigued by him. But he told me he's a hard drunk. It's like his uncle never hurt him. I was like, what about the people he hurt? He's like, huh? Like he hurt people that you know. He was like, I don't want to know that. I don't need that information. You being different, man. You being. I was like, no, because you not going to, and this is what hurts people. And this is why I acknowledge you, women. I'm going to acknowledge your hurts and pains. It didn't happen to me, but I know it happened to people around me. But at the same time, your hurts and pain, somebody else been hurt too. Or if you see them as a good person, they not good. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't good to everybody, but I wasn't like mean. I wasn't bad. I wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't like trying to hurt them and do just, but I'm not gonna justify it. I wasn't all great to everybody. You got to remember that. Everybody wasn't great to everybody. And I wanted him to understand that, but he didn't want to. He was older. He's 65. I was like, that's where our separation. And I learned this as well before I ended. Your age don't matter, but it matter in some cases. I learned a lot of older men won't listen to younger men. You know, and they wonder why and this do start with the older men first. I say this first because you are the EI example of these young men. Because they're looking at, well, I'm a little kid. I'm a young man. I'm going to grow up one day. You're a man and you grew up already. You at a certain age, you're doing certain things. Well, if I'm going to look over there and say, well, do I want to become that? Not even become who that other man became, but he's my example. That's what we got to remember. That's our example. I am their example. I may not have the cars, all this and that with my nephew, but my nephew never gonna say, yo, my uncle taught me some horrible stuff. And my uncle is not as my uncle was never trying or never doing, but what my uncle did, he still showed me, he still guided me. He may not be my role model, but I know I may not be my nephew role model or mentor or whatever, but I am his example. And I try to tell him the real. He's 19 now. I've been telling him the real. I'm like, keep working at what you do. I was like, to you, man, like I gave up. I didn't give up. It's harder for me. Everybody is not a natural ball handler or a shot putter or a runner. Some people work very, very hard. And I tell him, it's going to be things that's going to become so easy to you. And you're going to get mad because it's going to be things like, this is easy. Why? Even the easiest in basketball, I call it the figure. It's like a figure eight. Now I can do all the drills. I can do everything you tell me to do. And I probably won't be able to do certain things as good. But it's just one that drill, the figure eight. The coach like, why can't you get this? It's like, I'm trying my best. And I'm not mad. And I tell the coach and I tell the players, it's like, all right, you have to run the drill, especially when I'm trying out. And I tell the coach, I don't know how to do this drill. He was like, you know how to do the figure eight? And he like, and they keep showing me. And I'll be at the last of the line, but I know I eventually got to go up. I hate going up, but I'll do it. He's like, you really can't do this. And the guy, nobody laughs at me. Since I was little, since I was doing this figure eight, and I'm going to get this one day. I'm going to figure eight one day and swim and then jump off something high without that nervousness, that anxiety, that fear. And I don't still feel bad. The guys just look at me like, you can't, like, no. But they will, like, so you can do all these things in basketball. You can read the defense. You can basically design your own plays. You can be so great, but you're even still not the best. But you're not gonna let this man score on you. You know how to play the in the paint. You know how to attack you know how to do all these things. But it's this one drill that has to, and you know, basically is basically working on your fast break. You know how to run a fast break very well. We watching you you do it during the fast break in the game. Or if we're doing an extra, anything, but if it's a drill, if it's trying to put it in my head, some drills I have problems with. So he's like, you can do all of this, but this part you have, how is that even? He's like, that don't even make sense because all the things that you're doing in the real game or during other situations or events, you're doing this drill. But the drill, some reason, my brain, and this is, you got to think about this. Should have said this first, because some people might not get to the 51 minutes. I'm going to put that in my thing. Get to the 49-minute mark. I'm going to put certain marks where I talk about certain things. I'm going to start doing that more. And you might not get it. And I look at myself, that's why I say I will suffer. I don't get it. I don't get how just by his words, and I sit there. I seen a guy that was we call him a pimp by blood, not by relation, like a pimp. We call him a pimp, or a guy that had gangs, a Casino. I sat there and just listened to him talk to the woman. I watched this attitude, I watched this groove, and then I didn't try to emulate it, but I was like, I'm gonna be myself then. Well, that's all he doing. And it's still, they're not intrigued by me. Still, and I'm okay with that. That's why I say, but I'm going to show the young men. I tell you, if I had a son, he gonna say, Dad, all these girls like me. I'm gonna walk up like, oh, okay, son, they like you, okay. He's like, what should I do? It's gonna be funny. I'm like, well, son, just be yourself. And it's like, no, Dad, it's gotta be more because I don't want to hurt her feeling. I was like, well, I taught you how not to hurt people's feelings. You're gonna have to be okay with hurting some of them ladies' feelings, but don't lie to them and don't trick them. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm like, son, I never had. I like your mother. I married. I really met her later in my life, or if I have a daughter that have different things, I was like, I'll only thing I'm gonna know how to help them with is just being honest and truthful, and that's all. I'll be honest and truthful to the coach and the guy. I don't have problems with figure eight. I don't know what it is mentally about this figure eight, but we play the real game. I'm going to run the fast break the correct way. I can throw the ball without touching it, without. I can make sure the ball never touched the ground with us. I know how to watch the traps. I know how to get out of the traps. I'm a trap breaker. Ooh, that's a good one. Hashtag trap breaker. You call up in the trap. Nope, I'm a trap breaker. Because I ain't got a rap, just a maker. So I say you be encouraged, you be strong. Let me know what some things you learned this year. What was so hard for you that you pushed through? What things have you overcame? What things have you now? See, now mine is the figure eight. And I could do it to this day and won't get it right. To way I watch everybody else do it. What are some things that you do and you are okay with? But it's not, doing a figure eight is not detrimental to your basketball career, but in the drill and practice as a teamwork is kind of needed. You will want to be able to do it. And I will sit back and I'm not going to lie about this. I sat back and played basketball and I didn't get it. I still don't get it. And I have sat back with guys Just three of us trying to learn it. The coach or an assistant coach trying to learn it and didn't get it. Not one, I got it maybe when we got to the turn. I got that. We got this way. We even walked it out. Even walking it out, my mind did not fully get. I might have did it once, like boom. But now to do it again, my mind, because what happened is you're lined up. You become the middle guy at one point, or you become the right guy. If you start on the left, eventually you become the right. And when you run a drill, and you have to switch. And then one day we just practice switching. And like, how you switch on defense that good and offense on other things? But how do you not switch during this drill? So tell me about that one thing in your life, and you're not ashamed of it, that you do. And you know it, we're gonna call that, and that's the one thing I would say that I'm lame on is a handicap. It's the figure eight drill. Tell me that one thing, don't matter what. Tell it with some joy, because I'm telling it with joy, because I'm not ashamed. I will walk up. I can do it in front of the whole world. You're like, you can't. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna be ashamed. I can't do it. And I'm not putting that curse in my head. I'm not putting that spell in my head. I'm not putting that trance. It's just one of those things that's a handicap to me, don't matter what. If you want to beat me, and this probably might be some other thing, but that's just one of them. If you want to beat me, learn everything about me and do all the things I have a real handicap. Like, such as if you're the best rapper in the world, I'm not going to lose, because all those is words. You could be a flower, an MC, a lyricist. You can be a thought processor. So different styles of rap. So I'm not going to lose per se. I'm not going to be out of the loop. I'm not going to be. So if you run those drills, I'm out of the loop, because I'm going to always mess those up. You're never going to give me. I'm not going to get 3 stars. I'm not going to lie about it until a day I do it. Then that's when I will give myself props. But I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be hurt. I'm just going to say, and there's some things in your life, as in everybody's not going to get married. Everybody's not going to have children. So, and I accept a lot of things about me. That's okay. People may not see it. Don't matter what I view in parents who are like, man, I want that, but it's going to be hard for me to get there. And I have to truly say, I'm going to do a live on that. That's a good one for 2019. Let me write that one down. Handicaps that we are okay with. I'm not going to mention mine, but I'm just like, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge to myself and you don't stop. I still work on it. So I'm going to leave it at that. I want it to be it's already at 58, about to be an hour. So you have a great day. You be your best you. Keep striving and thriving. Being content. So in the tent of what you have, maintain and sustain it. I showed I maintain, and that's the one thing I learned. I can maintain and sustain a lot of things when I take away other things that I shouldn't be doing. Shalom.